Hey guys, welcome back to Friends and Enemas. My name is Lindsay. I'm your host. And who do I have with me today?
Hi, it's my full name. My name's Peter Carlos.
What do you do?
So I'm a registered veterinary technician in veterinary medicine.
Okay, that's cool. You can open your water.
Yeah, okay. So I was like, kind of like,
okay.
Is the sound going to be like...
It's okay. People know we're drinking water. We can't say it. I get really dry mouth when I do these.
Yeah, that's
I get a little nervous sometimes. So I decided to have Peter on with me because I've been following you on TikTok for a while.
Yep.
You're hilarious.
As have I.
And you're on Instagram.
Yep.
Do you have a YouTube?
I do. I don't do much with it.
Me neither.
Yeah, so
I can't get into it. I'm trying.
I think Instagram's my more right now. Because if you look at my TikTok right now, it's like, where are you? But
that's okay.
It's like Instagram seems to be like the more evolved adult place to be.
I feel you. I feel you on that. Can I ask how old you are?
Yeah, I am 39.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'll just say 40. It's another couple months.
Okay. I wouldn't have thought you're 39, but
everyone says that. They see me and they're like, and I'm like, do you see the grays in my hair?
No,
or something?
You look younger though.
But they do. They're like, aren't you 32 or something? Or 20?
Yeah.
And then, you get those rare people like, I thought you were 28 or something. I'm like, thank you so much.
Well, your age does make sense with the Instagram thing. Because I don't know. I feel like I lean more towards Instagram too.
I do, yeah. Because I feel like TikTok's a little younger generation.
Yeah.
And they can't really comprehend the things I'm posting or why I'm posting them.
Yeah. And I bet anything, they like take one little snippet and run with it.
Yeah.
That's the most frustrating thing.
You probably get the same stuff we do. They see something and it's a constant just run on with.
It's a shit show.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah. So, Peter, how long have you been a vet tech?
Let's see. I passed my boards in 2013.
Oh, okay.
But I've been in veterinary medicine 2 years prior before that. So, I mean, what? It's 12 years, something like that.
Yeah, that's a while.
Trying to put math in my head right now on the spot.
Yeah, no, I know math, and not my subject.
Yeah, I know. Let's calculate some CRIs right now.
No, see, actually, with nurse math, I'm really glad that we use a computer for most everything.
No, I have a calculator, like an app and a thing. And
that you have to use?
Oh, yeah. There's a whole thing.
Oh. See, I mean, like, I know I could do it if I had to, but I'd have to, like, refresh my memory on some of our equations. I'm like, how do you do
I think after a while, you just remember weights and doses. And you're just like, okay.
Yeah, okay. So, do you like your job? Like,
I love my job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just depending on who you ask in veterinary medicine, they'll be like, or they'll be like, oh, or it's just a job. But no, I love it. This is what I went to school for. This is what I wanted to do.
Yeah, you're an animal guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I feel like that's a green flag. I feel like people that are not animal people, I'm like, for me, it's an immediate red flag. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I have friends that are like, I could never own a dog. I'm like, but do you like dogs?
Yeah.
Because that's the difference.
I'm not a dog person. I have dogs. So, I'm a cat person. I'll admit it. Whatever. I love animals. That's why I'm doing this. My wife is the dog person. I am the cat person. And this is our life. So.
Okay, but if your wife's a dog person, you're a cat person, then like opposites attract. So I feel like that's fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. But don't get me wrong. I'm in this field for animals.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not going to pursue a dog. Oh,
yeah.
That's making myself sound so bad.
No,
but
that's
I mean, give me a puppy any day. That's great.
Right, puppy fever. I get puppy fever really bad.
Oh, but me around cats, that's so weird. Like,
see, I want a cat.
Yeah.
I've never owned a cat. My sister was allergic.
Oh, you got to do it.
I know, but I live in an RV right now.
Well, to make a disclaimer, I am allergic to dogs, so amazing career choice for me.
Oh, how do you deal with that?
I don't know.
You don't.
I just go to work.
I feel like I'd be the same if I ever
Constant congestion.
No, literally. If I was ever told, you actually have an allergy to dogs, I'd be like, I don't care.
Okay.
I'm just going to deal with it. That's really funny.
Well, some days you probably feel like you're allergic to humans and you're like, I don't want to do my job.
That's what I was going to bring up, actually. So I don't know if you know this, Mommy, but I was pre-vet student for 3.5, almost 4 years.
Didn't know that.
I was a kennel tech at the time. And so I was kind of working in, the vet office, and I loved it. I love animals.
I love where everyone starts. Like
exactly.
And then you just kind of go, do I want to go to vet tech? Do I want to be a doctor? Where am I going to go?
What do I want to do? Yeah. But, every vet I shadowed, and there was only 3, but they all told me don't do it, which is sad. Trigger warning, you guys. This episode contains talk of suicide. Please take care while listening. One of them actually is not here anymore.
Okay.
Unfortunately, trigger warning, suicide.
Yep.
And that's something I want to talk about today because I feel like mental health is so prevalent.
It is a huge thing in veterinary medicine. So, I mean, how can you not talk about vet med and have this
and not
topic?
bring it up? Yeah. And so, but that was, she told me she was struggling at the time. This was before I even was like curious about my own mental health. And I was like, how would you even struggle? But then I started working in it. And I feel like a lot of it is because of the treatment of animals that they see a lot. What do you think?
It's fatigue. It's burnout, it's stress, it's so many things. I think I'm just touching the surface of it, but a lot of it is just there, and people don't realize it, and I don't think they know how to ask for help, or they don't know how to bring it to attention, or they don't know how to talk about it, kind of thing. So, I mean, I've even went through my own thing with burnout, but I don't think I've ever went through this like where I'm like I want to leave vet med, or or I have this like crisis or anything. But everyone has their own ways of dealing with it or going into it. So
yeah.
But there's this excellent organization called Not One More Vet.
Oh, okay.
I believe that's what it's called. And this is what they cycle around. This is what they're all involved with, is with just mental health and suicide within the career and things like this. So, but yeah.
Not One More Vet.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down. Okay. Wow. I feel like it's like really prevalent, and I don't know, they told me, don't do it. And that's not really why I didn't go into it. But it was definitely a factor.
So like for me, like when in my career starting, like I knew I wanted to do it. I knew what the pay was. I knew how it was all going to happen. I knew we made crap nothing, but I enjoyed it and I wanted to do it. And then as I evolved and I got older in it and I would see students coming in, I wouldn't never tell them don't do it or don't do it. I would say, have you researched this portion of it, or have you researched, your life events that are going to come, and are you going to be able to afford these and do these things? It's just, you really have to understand that it's, oh man, it's so much.
It is. It's a lot deeper than just like, I want to be a vet or I want to be a vet tech.
Yeah.
That's how it is with nursing. So I get a lot of, I wouldn't say hate, but confusion on my page with nurses who are like, why would you ever tell someone to go be a nurse? Like if they're in nursing school and they're like, should I do this? I am like, well, I don't know their life, their situation. I always say, like, kind of like you, I hope that you do know. Burnout is...
I tell them, I hope you evaluate it.
Exactly.
I hope you've thought about this. It's like, because I think like a lot of people too, coming into veterinary medicine that want to be technicians, is either they worked in a clinic and they were in a kennel like setting and they were doing that, or they were like, I love puppies and kittens, I just want to work with them. But there's so much more to it. It's like we have to deal with animal death, animal emergencies, grieving clients,
neglect, abuse.
I mean, a lot of people say I went into veterinary medicine to work with animals, but like 90% of it is working with people.
Yeah, literally. It's funny you say that, because that's like one of the main reasons I was like, yeah, I want to be a vet. I want to go into vet med because animals. But it's funny, I'm a nurse now because don't get me wrong, I do love some of my patients. Some of them are just mean, but I do love helping people.
That's the thing, is I get the enjoyment of helping the pet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can have this cuckoo, bat, crazy lady who brings her dog into her purse and she's just foo-foo, whatever. But it's like, I'm helping the pet and I don't care about crazy person.
Right,
so it's like,
right.
But I mean, it definitely shapes your day.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of shaping your day, I saw one of your Instagram posts, and if you guys are watching on YouTube, I'll show the picture of this shit kebab.
Okay.
How the heck did that happen?
Well, let me first ask you, how do you, in human medicine, do body temperatures while in surgeries or in, sedations or whatever?
True. I think it depends on the patient, the situation. So most of the time, I would say it's temporal.
Yeah. So
temporal, or oral, or auxiliary, or Foley.
Okay. So fun fact, a dog's normal temperature is 102.5.
Okay.
Okay. So like if you do an ear temperature, you're going to get a variance. If you do like, lingual or something, you're just going to get something different. But the best way would be to do a rectal.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times, I mean, when you're doing a rectal or you're doing a thermometer, you're doing anything, there's usually one knocking right at the door. So
that one was huge though.
Yeah. So like you're going in, it's like, okay, there's a little pressure, and you get a great temperature, and you're like, okay, great. The temperature is perfect. That's what it wants to be. But then you start to see like a decline, because like that's an insulated turd. And then you're like, oh no. So you're like, a quarter way in the surgery, and you're like, why is my temperature like 98? Why is it going 97? So then you take a look under there, under the drapes real quick, and you're like, that's why.
Oh, yeah, so that makes sense. I actually do think if we did rectal temps, they would be more accurate.
Yeah.
But like then think about like a person.
Yeah.
Can I stick this up your ass? Like most of the time they're.
Okay, I had a surgery one time, and I woke up with a Foley catheter. I'm like, who did it?
No, right?
It's
Right?
like,
Who told? Okay, that's
like,
honestly one of my
where
fears.
did I sign to do this? Because I woke up naked.
Oh my
Like,
God.
And it's like I have a catheter in me. I have a bag that I've got carrying around me. I'm like, why is this? Like, why did it? You know? And then it's an interesting story. Like I had this really old woman come in the room, and she's like grandma, whatever. And she was so nice to me. She's like, oh, honey, it was time to pull out your catheter. And all throughout the process of cleaner, you remind me of my grandson. I'm like, girl.
Please stop. Please
But
stop.
no, that's an interesting conversation that I remember because I'm just like, okay, just take it out. Well, yeah. So that's human medicine.
That is so funny.
But I mean, we do that too in dogs. We just don't ask permission. We just do it.
I know we just do it, and then they're like looking
Yeah.
back at you, or probably trying to bite you.
Yeah, it's trying to bite me. It's like, why are you doing that?
Oh my God, my dogs, Schmidt and Murphy. Schmidt's great. He loves everyone. Murphy does love everyone, but is very particular. Like if you touch his paws, he like won't let you.
Yeah.
Teeth, but all of it.
Yep, it's all the sensitive spots for them.
Okay, so when I bring him to the vet, he always needs his nails trimmed, and I trim Schmidt's nails just fine. Murphy, I cannot do it. He's Houdini. He will get out of anything.
It's crazy.
I have to sedate him, and I hate it, but I have to. I bring him to the vet, and they're like, we can do it. Like, we do this all the time.
Yeah, this is what we do.
They never have. 3 different vets, they cannot get it done unless he's in one of those hoist, like slings.
That's why when they're in sedation or they're in surgery, I'm like, I'm just gonna do it
Yeah.
because if I say a long nail, like, and even if you look at my videos and stuff like that, you'll see like this is a super long nail, and this is so satisfying to cut.
Oh my God, and like that's got to be painful for them
It
to
does.
walk
People don't
on.
realize like. I see girls walking around with nails, like, and I'm like, okay, great, that's fine. And
You're not
they're
walking.
trying to press the buttons at the gas station. I'm like, okay, I can't get my card. But when you think of dogs, they're using their legs to walk, and you even get those ones where these owners paint them, and I'm like, oh no, and then I cut them, and I'm like,
No.
because they walk in and you hear the clap,
Yeah.
and then you see, because what they do is they have fur under their paws and they're sliding and they're trying to grip and all these things. So you get joint problems, you get all these different things because they can't actually have a perfect gait or a walk.
Oh,
Yeah,
see,
so-
it's kind of sad. I do feel like it's people just don't have the education.
There's a lot that needs to be known, especially with just animal health.
Yeah.
Overall, just paws to the rear everywhere.
Right. And like speaking of animal education, I saw one of your posts on retractable leashes, and it made I died laughing.
I'm sorry, it's the devil's floss.
No, it is. They're the worst. But can you tell us why they're the worst? Because there's reasons.
I'm sorry, but no dog needs 50 feet away from who's controlling them. Oh, and the worst thing is when you see these really older women, old ladies and what have you, and they're walking a dog on like a 25-foot retractable leash on the sidewalk, and I'm like, it only takes one, distraction for that dog to say, squirrel, run into the street, and I've seen that so many times working emergency. And it's like just go get a nice little 3 to 6 foot leash and keep that dog by your side, because you don't want to go to the park and the person that's walking next to you does not want your dog in their business.
No. And doesn't it defeats the purpose of teaching the dog 6 feet? This is what it feels like.
It defeats the whole purpose of even walking, really.
Yeah.
Like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And I've seen them snap, where they either snap and hit the dog or snap and hit the person.
Veterinary medical
They hate
professional, we hate them.
Yes.
Like they bring them into the clinic, and they hand me the leash. I instantly take it off and I will put on another leash, because I cannot control your animal.
Right.
Plus, you get them. They get excited and they want to run and jerk, and then boom, you press the lock, and then there goes your arm.
Yes. And I'm just like, no. I know. Sorry to my friends who use those, but I do judge you.
Throw them away.
Throw them away.
We don't like them.
I tell all my friends, I'm like, my little sister, she's a first-time dog mom. I love it. It's really cute to watch. Like,
well, I feel like they throw that at people at pet stores. It's like,
They
you get a new
do.
puppy, you got to go buy a foofy bed. You got to go buy, this and that. And then, like, the retractable leashes are on this whole big aisle.
Yes.
It's like, do not buy that.
like stop buying them. It's like rawhides. Like, stop giving your dogs
don't even
these
get me started on
things.
rawhides. Yeah. Well, I work in veterinary dental specialty now, and I can tell you that, like, do not buy rawhides. Like, they do not do anything.
Okay, I have a question then.
Okay, here we
what
go.
about bully sticks?
Do you know what a bully stick is?
A penis, right?
Yes.
So I didn't really believe it actually was a penis until just now.
Well, fun fact, too. Here we go. So, dogs actually have a bone in their penis.
I saw your.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know it until I saw your post.
It's called the os penis, and it literally is a bone. So now imagine a bull. Like, it is. Literally. Now imagine a bull that has like 4 or 5 times bigger.
Okay.
That is a bully stick.
I've touched a lot of bull dicks then.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh, yeah.
But is it okay for them to chew? What do you think?
Okay.
Under supervision?
I don't even listen to my own advice, so we'll start here. I have fed them to my dogs. I don't recommend them. But again, I don't listen to my own advice.
No, that's fair. I feel like we're all just like trying to learn here. Like a huge reason I brought you on is for, I love, even though I left veterinary medicine, I started working in like animal rescue. And so I feel like I get my feel for helping animals there.
Yeah.
But I still miss it. So I am always super intrigued. I loved like.
I know. I've had my points too where I'm like, should I go to human medicine? Should I do this? Like, and the thing that draws me is like money. This and this, but like if you have a supportive family or you have a supportive like background or you have no debt, then you don't have to worry about these things.
That's very true.
So
I was gonna bring up pay transparency if you're okay with it.
Yeah. Okay. So myself personally, so right now I'm making $36 an hour.
Okay. And you're in Florida.
I'm in Florida. Okay. And when you think about Florida, okay, let's go back. So I'm from California.
Okay.
And when I worked in California, like in the Central Valley, you don't make anything. Like
really?
You literally make nothing. Like, I mean, $18, like 18
in California,
$18 to $20. And that's why people cannot afford to do this job.
No.
Like, they can't do it. And then, so I was so scared, like coming to Florida, wanted to continue doing veterinary medicine. You know, I took my first job and it was like $25 an hour. And I was just so unhappy. I was just like, just whatever. But also I came here without any debt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we sold our house, we sold everything we had. I had just paid off my school loans the year before. And like, so there wasn't like a stress or anything like that. And when we moved to Florida, it was just kind of calm. Like I was just going to find a job. I didn't enjoy this job.
Yeah.
It was general practice.
So you have a specialty that you like.
Yeah. So if I were to tell anybody, do not do general practice. Like, I enjoy, do ER.
Okay.
Or do specialty.
Okay.
Like, that's where the career growth is going to be.
Okay.
Honestly.
That's
But
interesting.
like if you've looked at my videos from far back, like my passion has always been in like dentistry.
Yeah.
So like when I found a dentistry job, like I was just like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
And I really like it.
Yeah.
But like coming here, I noticed like it's only like $20 to $22 for an average person working as a veterinary technician. But there's also no licensing requirements to work as a veterinary technician in Florida, like there is in California.
Oh, okay.
So like it just depends on what state you're in.
Right.
So
okay.
Like in California, I was a registered veterinary technician, transferring my license here, learning you don't need a license to be called a veterinary technician.
Interesting.
Anybody can walk off the street and monitor anesthesia. Ugh, it's just bad.
I can only imagine because I feel like
Although I should do a disclaimer, the practice I work for only hires
you're like,
licensed technicians to perform these tasks.
Yeah.
So
no, I think in Oklahoma you don't have to be licensed.
Yeah, it's just dependent on the state.
Because I used to this is funny. I used to think I was a vet tech because I was hired as a kennel tech, but I did a lot of things vet techs did. And so whenever I would say that online, they're like, well, you're not licensed. You were not licensed. I was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't.
See a lot of that online. You see a lot of that on different forums and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But like I think the biggest thing in California is a lot of the people, they will do the tasks of a veterinary technician, but they're not licensed. So, but they can't legally be called that.
Yeah.
Kind of like if I walked in and said, I'm an RN.
Right.
Like, okay,
Like-
well, where's your credentials?
Right. No, that makes sense. I was like 18 at the time and I was like, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I am. I'm doing all that. But they're like, stop telling people that you're doing all that.
Yes.
And I was like,
don't do it.
My bad.
It's like, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. But I mean, you should be licensed.
But in Florida,
if you
everyone's a
can.
veterinary technician. And then you can get credentialed, and then you can go on to get like your VTS, like in certain things like dentistry, anesthesia, ER, things like that.
That's pretty cool. When you say general medicine, it reminds me of, in my head, med surge.
Okay.
That's what I would call general in the hospital.
Okay.
Where you're not super sick. You're sick enough that you need to be in the hospital. You need some like monitoring.
Yeah.
It could be like after surgery. It could be you're getting rid of your pneumonia or an infection or whatever, but you're not sick enough to be in ICU, which that's my specialty. ICU.
So it's kind of like in veterinary medicine where we don't do overnight and we'll just say, well, we just did a procedure. We want you to be watched overnight. We're going to send you to the emergency hospital down the street.
That's how I would
just kind of watch it.
Yeah. That's
well,
how I
for
would
me,
say.
when I explain general medicine, it's anything ear infections, anything skin infections, anything like day after Thanksgiving, my dog is vomiting kind of thing. It's like, it's just general med.
It's boring.
It's just, treat them and treat them.
Yeah.
It's
Do you guys get a lot of, I bet you do. I already know you do because I was one of these, my dog was a patient after Christmas, lots of candy intake or anything like that.
I think, I think the
Halloween?
biggest thing right now, is after Thanksgiving. So a lot of people think that,
The bones and shit.
well, bones, whatever. I think they feel like they need to give their pets the same food they're getting. And I always discourage that because yes, okay, they can have a little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't follow my own advice. But then guess what? They can't have these onions. They can't have these salts. They can't have these, all these different oils and spices and stuff. And guess what? Next day they have pancreatitis.
Yeah.
And then you're wondering why your
really
dog has, GI upset, diarrhea, distended abdomen, and they're just seem painful or down. And you're just like, well, they had to have their Thanksgiving, but now they have to have, emergency care.
Yeah, and it's really
Yeah,
expensive.
supportive fluids. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I will pay for it for my animal. It was my fault in the first. Like, for instance, my dog Schmidt. We found out that he loves chocolate,
Okay.
and I found out
Well,
because
they do make dog-friendly, safe alternative chocolates. You should
well,
look
I
for
should
that
know
online.
about that.
Okay.
But I didn't. I forgot to put my stocking stuffers up where he couldn't
Okay.
get them. There was chocolate
and
in
you went
there.
right for it.
90% cacao.
Oh.
And of course, like, I called the vet freaking out because I didn't know which one ate it.
Okay.
They're like, bring him to the emergency room, bring both of them. They pump their stomachs.
Yeah.
It was Schmidt, this one. So
Okay.
my little Australian Shepherd mix. He's an ass, but I love him. And he ate all of it. And they were like, it probably wouldn't have been not. Disclaimer, I'm not saying feed your dog chocolate at all.
Don't
Always
ever, please.
listen to your vet. But they were like, it would have been better if it was milk chocolate.
So there is, yeah. The rule of thumb is the darker the chocolate, the worse.
Yeah.
So, and baking chocolate would be the worst.
Yeah.
So just stay away from it. Don't go near it. But I mean, I've had my own episodes where my dog, after Halloween, my youngest dog got into chocolate, and I'm at home like, okay, I know how to make them vomit, and I won't tell you guys how to do it.
Don't do it.
So we vomited at home. Up comes the wrappers. Up comes the Twix. Up comes the Snickers. All these things, and I'm just like, okay, but just keep it out of reach. Yeah. And I promise you, your dog is gonna look sad, but they don't need these treats. Because get to their level, and then you'll see the little sad eyes go away.
Literally, yeah, the whites of their eyes go away.
Yeah, they don't look so sad anymore.
Yeah, and like you said, like, don't feed them these things, but also, like, I just said it's so expensive. It was $1,200 to do all that. I don't want to pay. I will pay it because it's my fault. But
I've always, that's the biggest thing when you talk about veterinary medicine is people say, well, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is. I would agree. But when you compare it to human medicine, like, okay, like, I'm sorry you had to pay $25 for an IV catheter. Do you know how much that is in human medicine?
no, literally.
Or like these medications or all these things. And I'm like, and I think they get this idea that it's so expensive because you have to pay up front. Mm-hmm. And you, like, if I were to go to the emergency hospital, it's like, do I pay a deductible? Do I just get my service and walk away and then I deal with insurance? Kind of thing? You don't ever have to do a transaction, really.
Yeah.
But in human medicine, they think, well, all you want is my money. Well, no, we don't want your money. We didn't call you and tell you to come in.
Yeah,
you
true.
came to us, and we want to offer you a service, but that service has to keep the lights on. It has to keep the employees paid. I mean, you're paying for licensed technicians. You're paying for lights in the hospital. You're paying for the services you're getting.
Yeah.
And people think,
That's a
no,
good
you
way.
just want my money. No, we don't. We want to help your pet. I promise you.
That was something else going back to.
And with that, there's not a plan A. There's not always a plan A. That's not the most. If you can't afford that, have transparency. Tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us this is what I have. This is what I can work with. We will go A, B, C, D plan all the way to what we can do to help you and your pet. Honestly.
See, that's what I see a lot in vet, which I love because when I was a kennel tech and seeing people come in that love their animal to death, but unfortunately their finances are like not there, it puts a lot of strain on, the practice as well. Like, they can't always give free care, but they can give options and like try to help.
And I mean, even
much
with our
as possible.
discounts, it's still expensive for us.
Yeah.
I mean, for myself, I get free veterinary care because my father-in-law is a veterinarian.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, like, I know it's like boom, huge perk, but
Yeah, but
like
still,
a lot of
it's
people
an
don't have those
expensive thing.
pleasures. And it is very expensive, and it can be. But I think the one thing I can push on with that topic is, if you're going to get a puppy, understand. I mean, I think I've read the statistics before, like, the cost of a pet over their lifetime is roughly about $10,000 to $12,000.
Yeah.
And that does not include like actual
Emergency.
emergencies.
Yeah.
So like, understand that, and then you will understand, what to expect. But also at the same time, I think when you get a puppy, or even if you have just a dog that's a little older, always research pet insurance. Like, you're putting a little bit of money out so that when you actually need these things, you can afford these things.
Yeah.
because I mean, pet insurance will pay sometimes 90-80% of the total bill, and it's so beneficial.
That's a great point. I didn't know about pet insurance until my dogs were like 7 years old.
Yeah,
So then
there's
I'm like,
a
wow.
lot of companies out there. I think even Nationwide offers one. Like,
No, they do.
because like the thing is like if you're getting a car insurance policy, throw your dog on there too. Like,
Yeah,
come
exactly.
on, people.
Just like it should be. It's kind of like something that I think about also with this is how easily preventable heartworm is.
Oh my gosh. So yes. Like now that I live in Florida, yes,
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because California, it's not the same.
In California, I had my pets on preventatives, but mostly just flea and tick.
Yeah.
But I mean, the medications I have them on also cover heartworm. But then I get here and like you don't realize like it's around. You know, they can get it. And do you know how they get heartworm?
Mosquitoes?
Yes. A lot of people don't know that. And they're like,
Only because I was in vet med. People don't know it though.
so I think one of the bigger jokes is people they say a lot of times the jokes in veterinary medicine are like the big things we get is, well, my dogs don't need preventatives because we live in a gated community, or well, they don't need it because we live on the second floor, or my dog doesn't go outside. So I'm like, so your dog just shits in your house.
Inside.
It's like I'm like, so I always ask them like, I'm like, so when they say, well, my dog doesn't need it because it doesn't go outside, and I'm like, so where does your dog go to the bathroom? And you know, you ask all these open-ended questions because it's like they're not going to tell you unless you ask them.
Right.
It's like, and then when they get to the point, well, I just carry him outside and put him on the grass. So your dog is an outdoor pet.
Yes.
So we need to be on preventatives.
Yes.
But a lot of people don't realize is we ourselves are fomites. We can carry these things into our home. And these dogs can get fleas, they can get ticks, they can get all these things. And I'm sorry, yes, there is mosquitoes in your house.
Yes.
And yes, dogs are mammals. They will get mosquitoes.
Right.
They'll get heartworm. So
So
yes.
You know, in animal rescue, like I've taken care of tons of dogs that have heartworm, and it's just astonishing. Like,
well, if you catch it fast, it can be fixed.
Yes.
And if you catch it late, man,
it's hard.
It's horrible.
It's hard, and it's hard on them.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I'm bringing up price because, like we said, I agree with you that in the long run, and truthfully, comparing it to human medicine, it's not expensive. But when people want to complain about, well, it's expensive, but this preventative is so cheap compared to the possibility of the treatment.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I
like,
mean, if you're
treatment's
giving,
expensive.
well, that's why they call them preventatives, because you're just giving. But then you get a lot of people. I'm sure you've been online, Facebook, what have you. And you see these things, you know, drug alternatives and all these things, or drug, flea collars that don't use this.
Yeah.
And it's just. No, why don't you get something that's FDA approved?
Yeah.
You know, or something that's proven, because I'm sorry that lemon, citrus, what do they call the oils? Essential oils aren't going to do it.
Oh my God. You know that people use that in human care too.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine.
Like, and as much as I love the smell, okay, I love a good lemongrass smell and lavender and eucalyptus, but they'll literally think that is going to cure their brain cancer.
Yes. I mean, I'm sorry, but like in veterinary medicine, like people will do absolutely everything they possibly can until they Google, where's my nearest vet? And they will call a friend. They will text a friend. They will go to a Facebook forum. They will
Probably
go everywhere.
DM you.
Yes. You should see. I'm sure you get the same things.
Yeah.
Like you should see like, oh, I have this and this and this, and my dog is this and this. And then my response, go to a vet.
Literally.
Like, what do you want me to tell you? I'm not a doctor.
Yes.
My only advice would be to tell you to go to a veterinarian.
Yes.
And a lot of times you get, oh, okay, thank you. Or a lot of times you get, well, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. People do that to me too.
Like, and it's just like, whatever. But like, it's just like, just go to your vet. Like, honestly.
I just feel like it's like part of owning an animal.
It is.
You know?
I think then that's why I brought up the whole thing. Like, if you're going to get a pet, understand the cost of that.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should have a pet. And I'm not saying that if you don't have money, you shouldn't have a pet.
Right.
Because, people have pets and you can.
And people without money can treat their pet amazingly, and they love their pet.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate sometimes.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. And I mean, I'm not going to food shame or anything.
Yeah.
Like, get a dog and treat them and care for them with what you can afford.
Yeah.
Because they're going to love you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They don't have they have unconditional. They don't care.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
That's how I feel too. Something else I saw on your Instagram. No, I'm bringing this up because this happens in
I see your face and your smile, so I'm just like, what is it?
I think your page is hilarious.
Okay, I try. Oh my gosh, I'm still trying to
God.
find my niche.
No.
No.
Your niche. I feel like you're in it. Like, Here, there's two things. So like with education, for me, I have to be humorous about it, and that's what you do too.
Yes. Okay,
and
I see what you're saying.
Of course,
okay.
like some people are going to hate it and some people are going to think you're being mean, but like at the end of the day, those are not your people.
That's my way to vent. That's how I do it.
Too.
Like I come home, I had this day, this is what I felt,
Exactly.
and I'm just having fun.
And none of it is truly offensive.
You're always going to offend 3 people.
You are.
No matter what you do.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Bye.
Sorry.
They were never your people in the first place.
I used to follow you until you said this.
You did not need to announce your departure. Goodbye. Like, I literally don't care. I get those messages a lot, too. And I'm like,
thank you
bye.
for your support.
It's really frustrating. But I saw one of your posts that said something about a dog. They took off the cone and they licked their wound and it's infected.
Mm-hmm. So
tell us about that.
So it goes back to this whole thing, like way a long time. People think that dog saliva is this healing property. Exactly. I'm sorry, but if I'm gonna sit there and lick my wound, it will not heal. I promise you. So I don't know what magical drug is in dog saliva that is helping this, because I'm sorry, there's still amylase and lipase, and it's gonna keep that thing raw.
Yes.
And like it's gonna just like completely just like. That's the thing.
It's this myth.
It's this myth, like, oh, it's going to keep it clean. But then why are they licking it? They're licking it because they're painful or they're in discomfort.
Yes, that's what they do.
Yes. So, yes, they're trying to keep it clean the best way they know how, but I promise you it's not going to heal. And if you use hydrogen peroxide, stop doing it.
on their wounds.
Do it once. I mean, you see these people who are like, I've been cleaning it. I've been putting alcohol and hydrogen peroxide on it. It won't heal. Well, first of all, alcohol,
kills
ow.
Me. Yeah, ow, poor
and
thing.
then hydrogen peroxide every day, you are literally just like stopping the healing process every time you put it on there.
Yes.
And they're like, well, it bubbles, it's keeping it clean. No, it bubbles because you're destroying red blood cells.
Yes. People don't understand. You know, we get patients like that come in and we're like, what happened to this wound on your leg? Like, it was supposed to be getting better. What happened? Well, I was letting my dog lick it.
Well, you get these people who will put honey on it. I mean, honey is a great source for granulation and all these things, but they,
but they don't know why they're doing it.
But they don't use the proper honey, or they don't use the proper cleaning solutions, or all these things, it's just so much stuff. But the thing is okay, when they wear the cones, those cones are for a purpose, and I feel like people think like. They go home, they have to take it off. My dog won't eat. My dog won't drink. Yes, they won't.
Right.
So if they've had a procedure and they're wearing a cone, leave it on.
Yeah.
I mean, take it off. Yes. Be in that immediate area. Yes. Let them drink or do whatever. But the second you see them trying to deter away and trying to lick that wound, it's going to dehiss.
Right.
Like if they're licking and chewing it. So just leave the cone on. Because day 1, day 2, they're going to hate it. Day 3, they're going to be walking and hitting everything because they're used to it.
Yep.
But I mean, 14 days? That's how long it takes skin to heal. Just leave it on.
It's a small amount of time for like their lifetime.
I'm like 100% pro. Leave the cone on. Kennel train for a short time. I mean, and they think, well, how are they supposed to do this and how are they supposed to do this? Because I'm sure in human medicine you tell them go home and just rest.
We educate them.
Yeah, just sit and rest. Like, but no, they have to go home after a spay or a neuter or a broken leg and let's play and run. Let's play ball. It's like, let's take off the cone, and then you get them back and you've got all these problems and you're just like, why didn't you just listen to me?
It's funny because
it was in your discharge notes. Did you read it? No, you never told me that. I gave you a whole paper on what to do.
Right. Like, you literally signed here. Yeah. That's the same on our end.
I don't remember that. You signed it.
It's not my problem. We deal with the same stuff. It's like comical to me that, and at the end of the day, it's just people. But it's like my patients do the same stuff. Why would you let your dog lick your wound? That's disgusting for one. Well, their mouths are cleaner than our hands. I don't know where you read that.
I work in animal dentistry. I can tell you that their mouths are not clean. I can tell you, the foofiest little dog that you have in your purse, just look in there. You're going to have, halitosis, there's stinky breath, they're going to have calculus and all these things. And they're like, well, that's just the way dogs are. No, it is not the way dogs are. I promise you. But what about wolves and all these things outside? Well, they're not domesticated.
Right.
You brought this dog into your house. Now you have to take care of them.
Yes.
And they don't understand, like, that you have to actually provide for a domesticated animal in your home by brushing their teeth, by removing all these things. And it's like, if you're letting your dog lick that wound with that mouth, it's so dirty, teeth falling out of their head, and you can smell it. I'm sorry, but that wound is not going to heal.
Disgusting.
And then they're go, but my baby, and they're licking the inside of their mouth as they're kissing them, like, yeah.
Like, it literally makes me want to heave.
Yeah.
Okay, so last thing on the, like, well, what about wolves? People do the same thing. Well, what about people back in the 19 whatevers
Yeah.
before we had this type of medicine? They died.
We had people in the 1900s weren't living to 30 years old.
Exactly.
And they didn't have medicine.
And same with animals. Like, you just think animals still get these diseases. We just aren't domesticating them.
And veterinary medicine is still evolving, and people don't realize it. And until we can get rid of all the Facebook breeders and all these things, and all these online medicine people who just like whatever, it's not going to get any better. It really isn't, because it's like people are getting their information from the wrong people.
Yeah.
And then once they hear one thing or they watch a TikTok video about, hey, feed your dog this because it's going to help their breath. No, it's going to make their breath smell great for 5 minutes. And guess what? It didn't do a single thing.
Right.
Or, all these other things. It's just.
When really the root of it is just like the teeth post that you post, I'm like, I want to shake some people.
Yeah. I mean, I love teeth. It's just a satisfying thing to get a pet in and just help them. I mean, pull teeth, clean teeth, and then they get to leave with the discomfort gone. Well, they have discomfort. I mean, they just went to the dentist.
Just a little bit, though. But they'll feel better.
Recover, it's going to be great.
Exactly.
So,
they're like, if your dog's breath stinks and you look at the back and their teeth are green and brown and that plaque on them, that's why.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get it clean.
I think I did a video one time where I actually swabbed a sterile swab of a dog's mouth. Ew. Or was it a cat's mouth? One of them. And then I did a media plate on it and I grew it. So like overnight it was just complete like, oh my gosh. And
that'd be a fun experiment.
It was. Yeah. It was actually dirtier than a toilet seat.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. See, people, you're letting them lick your nasty ass wounds with a worse than a toilet seat.
Or you sit there and you're like, oh, Foofy baby, let me eat the food out of my mouth. Oh my God, no.
Don't get me wrong. I let my dog kiss my face, but every now and then he accidentally makes out with me and I'm like, stop.
Oh, it happens.
Stop it. That's disgusting.
I'll see my kids out there with an ice cream or a popsicle and they're out there and they're just like, I'm like, bro, stop.
That's so funny. So we kind of talked about this earlier before we started the podcast, but it's not a capybara. That's an animal. Cutabera. Cutabera.
I feel like I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Cutabera.
But
tell us what it is. It is a larva state of a fly. What fly? I don't know. But it is a larva state of a fly. So what happens is it gets into your derma, just in the skin, and what it does is that larva starts to grow. But the thing is as it grows, it has these hooks that encircle its body.
Yeah.
So if you try to pull it out, it's
it's probably painful.
Yeah, it is. Because it's sitting there and it's spreading the skin. It's becoming this huge. It's like a pimple.
It's like a huge pore.
Yeah, and you could see it moving under the skin. So I think a lot of people, when I have never seen it in real life, and that's my goal in life, to see one. That's my such like biggest goal, to see one. But to remove it, you see videos in humans and in pets. I think you have to, so basically they have this breathing apparatus that comes out of the body, and they just kind of like take a breath and they go back in. Whatever. So you have to suffocate them, a little petroleum jelly and suffocate them, and then they die. And then what happens is now you have to go in there and take it out.
That's the best part. So satisfying.
So, you get a lot, just grab some tweezers and what have you. But I mean, in medicine, we'll just use a pair of forceps, and then we just have to gradually pull it because it's painful, I'm sure. And we do it under sedation.
Yeah.
And then take it out. But,
so the dog, that's why I'm like, they must be sedated.
Yeah.
Because otherwise.
Oh, yeah.
No freaking way.
Oh, yeah. There's so many amazing drugs that you can use. Yeah. And I'm sure all those same drugs are ones you use in human medicine. Propofol, dexmedetomidine, ketamine, Valium, all these same drugs.
That's so interesting.
Like, we use all the same stuff, people.
Okay.
And it is 90% cheaper than human medicine.
That's what I was going to say. Big Pharma. The insurance companies are fucking around with human medicine.
I did a video on that one time, too, where it's like, this vial of gabapentin for your dog is like $15. And then it's like, this vial for humans is like $100 and something. And it's the same drug.
Like insulin.
Yeah.
Do you know off the top of your head what a vial would be?
I don't know. It's like $40-$60.
It makes me so angry. We have people dying with diseases they didn't ask for, and we cannot provide them cheap or free insulin. Mm-hmm. And in the hospital, like for instance, when I started working in the hospital, I didn't realize how much of a business it was, how much it is. People profit over people every time, all day.
Oh, and that's what people don't get. They're like, veterinary medicine is just, you're just in it for the money. I'm like, you have no idea what human medicine is.
They don't. And that's why I wanted to bring you on here, because I love animals, and all these conversations are very interesting to me, because this stuff could be fixed with human medicine.
Yeah, it can be.
But they just choose not to because profit over people.
Yeah, I do. I think profit is a huge thing. Yeah.
The first bill I saw for a patient, I was a new grad, and I saw we had ordered her chapstick because she needed chapstick for her lips. We didn't have Vaseline on this floor, and I ordered her Carmex. Guess how much it was?
I'm going to be outrageous and probably say like $30.
$75.
Are you serious?
$75.
Well, I can relate because when I had a hospital stay and they gave me, 2 ibuprofen in a little cup, and you look at the itemized bill, it's like, did I really just pay like $50, $60 for ibuprofen?
Ibuprofen over the counter?
Yeah, like, or, they'll send home like 800 milligrams ibuprofen after you go to the dentist, and you're just like, that really have to pay that much for it?
Right. I could literally buy 15 bottles for these. Like, it really is. Like, it's so infuriating. Yeah. And now that you brought up, I'm switching topics again because you just brought up ibuprofen. How many times do you have people bringing their animals from ibuprofen?
All the time.
I even messaged you about this.
So let me see if I'm correct here. Tylenol is incredibly toxic to cats. If you give cats Tylenol, just go to the vet right away. But you get these people who are like, I've been treating them for like the last 2 months with ibuprofen. I think I did a post on that or something where, and they're like, I've been treating my dog for the last 2 months with ibuprofen, BID and all these things. And I'm like, why? Yeah. Well, they seem painful. Then why didn't you come to the vet? Right. And then, or you'll even get those people who are like, well, they're not painful, but I'm like, they're limping, but they're not painful. Why do you think they're limping?
Yeah, they can't talk. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
It's like, so if they weren't in pain, do you think they'd be using that leg? Like, and they're like, yeah. It's like, okay, so there is a discomfort. So what is discomfort? Discomfort is pain.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, they try to bite me when I touch it, but they're still walking. Well, that's pain. They don't want you to touch it, so don't touch it, first of all. And don't treat with anything over the counter. So people always ask, well, what can I give my dog for this and this and this? Absolutely nothing.
Yes.
Unless you go to a veterinarian and they tell you to purchase this over the counter and give it to your dog, do nothing.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, just absolutely do nothing.
The milligrams, weight-based dose, it's different. It matters.
And you'll get those people who are like, well, this is safe. Or I've had a vet tell me this in the past, but this is not the same.
No.
This is not the same case.
Right.
Or this is not the same thing. Just don't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, and then we have to do blood work, and guess what? Liver shot.
Yeah, liver disease or something. Yeah.
It's just like, okay, great.
I have a family member that did that, and that's what happened to their dog.
And now you're mad at me because we have to hospitalize on fluid. So
yeah, but it was your fault.
Yeah, it's my fault, right? Because we told because we called you and said, hey, "Can you come in right now?"
It's so frustrating. It's funny. Like, we deal with the same stuff with people, and I truly do love taking care of people, but at the end of the day, sometimes people are just assholes.
Oh yes.
And the hospital loves to blame it on, well, their mental health. Are they a mental health patient? Mm-hmm. No, they don't have a background of anything. They're just an asshole.
Yeah.
And I have to take care of them because they're here, even though they did all this to themselves.
Like an entitlement to something or
exactly.
whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. And that happens so much. And I saw it happen in vet med too.
We get it a lot in vet med. It's an entitlement. I mean, even working in emergency for me, you would get these people who would come in and they're just like, I'm waiting. I had an appointment. And I'm like, you're an emergency. You don't have an appointment, first of all. And then, or they'll be sitting there for an hour or 2 hours. I mean, I've seen waits in emergency pet for like 6, 8 hours. And then, they'll be sitting there for 6 hours and then something comes through the door. Well, they went before me because that dog's going to die.
Oh my God, this is the same shit.
And it's like, that dog's going to die. So do you know how triage works? Like, it's like your dog came in because it had a 4-week ear infection that you wanted to use, peroxide in the ear for and just wait on it. And today it needed to be fixed. But because that dog got hit by a car, you want to go first.
It's wild.
Yeah, or because that dog is swallowed a tennis ball and can't breathe, you want to go first. It's
right.
And then I will always go out there. I mean, you feel like you want to go out there and tell them, well, you want to ask the client if you can go first over there.
Yeah, you want to go talk to them.
It's like, I have to do this. It's like, and then they get mad and then they leave and they get, it's just this whole thing with the attitude and the way they are. And it's like, why? It's like, go take your child to human ER and see if you get that same thing because you're going to be sitting waiting.
Exactly. Exactly. So. That's why I brought it up because we get that in the ER, we get that in the ICU. If I forget, okay, so I'll have a patient say, hey, could I get some ice water? I'm like, yeah, I'll be right back. And as I'm going to get the ice water, we have a code next door and I start coding a patient. An hour and a half later, I come in the room and they're like being hateful to me. I'm like, is there something I did? Is there something wrong? You forgot my ice water. Like,
so
you're right.
Things.
I did forget your ice water. I'm so sorry. I'll go get that now. Well, no, don't worry about it. I got someone else to do it. Then why are you telling me?
Because you had to know. They had to tell you. It's one of those things. It's like, well, they just had to tell you so that you knew. It's
right.
Like, because they had to vent. That was their way of venting.
I always tell them, well, the person next door was dying. So
yeah.
Do you want to check yourself real quick? Let's think. We're in a hospital, not a hotel.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like, and again, I want to take care of people, even when they're not as sick as the one next door, but the attitudes we get sometimes really.
I mean, we get those people that are like,
annoy me.
they'll call the clinic, hi, I'm calling about Bella. And I'm like, okay, what's the last name, first of all?
How many
because
Bellas
I
are
think
there?
we've got like 300, 400 Bellas in our computer. And I'm like, okay, first of all, what Bella? And they're like, okay, I was there last week. Okay, first of all, okay, who are you? So once we get past that step, they're like, can I just talk to the doctor? And I'm like thinking in my head, do you call human medicine and say, can I just talk to the doctor?
No.
No, that does not happen. You're going to send an email. You're going to set an appointment, what have you. So then we tell them, you need to set up a consultation. You need to set up this. They're doing things. And but I just have a quick question.
It doesn't matter.
Like, no, it doesn't. I'm sorry. Like, can I help you with that?
Right.
Can I, assist you with that? No, you're not the doctor. Okay, well, guess who's doing all the records and who's doing all the prescriptions and who's doing all this and because you see the doctor for 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes in the room.
Exactly.
And guess who's doing everything else?
Yes.
It's the veterinary
Yes.
technicians. We are the ones administering everything. And the worst part too is when they get a card in the mail. Thank you, doctor, so much for saving my dog's life. Hi.
Did you forget about me?
Yeah.
The animal nurses, because that's what you guys
it's
are.
Like, hi. It's just like while your dog was being fixed and cared for and recovery and treated in hospital, that doctor was seeing appointments.
Right. That's not how it works. They like don't understand how things work behind the scenes.
But the thing for me is veterinary medicine is such a huge female dominated field.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that.
Right.
But like for me, I think it's a sexist thing. Like I'll walk into a room, hi doctor. I'm sorry, my name's Peter. I'm a veterinary technician. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, you need to apologize.
It happens.
It's like I'm not the doctor.
Oh yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
it's like okay, and I'm like, but the other females that are walking around, they're the doctors.
Yeah, exactly. That happens with us too. My husband's a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, like if we'll work on the same unit, and so we'll tag team, like pulling patients up or doing tasks together.
Mm-hmm.
When we come in, oh hi doctor to my husband, and I'm not the doctor, but I'm like, he's a nurse.
I don't get it. It's just a lot of things.
It is a sexist thing.
Yeah, I think it is a female thing.
I would say it's a subconscious sexist thing most of the time.
They just see a male. It's like, oh, you're the doctor. Okay, whatever. And I'm like, and then I explain to them, or you just say it in my head at first. Usually, sometimes like it's just female dominated.
Yeah,
this is what it is. Guys.
Exactly.
It is.
And
I know because a lot of people are like, oh, you're a vet tech. Oh, but you're a male. And I'm like, yeah, but you're straight. Yeah.
What?
I'm like, so do I need to be something to be like?
That's interesting.
It's like, but I'm just like, why can't I like
I'm
animals?
here.
Why can't I do medicine?
Right.
Why can't I do this?
And be a
because
straight
I'm
male.
Boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I feel like that happens with men too in human nursing. Like that happens to my husband for sure. And then sometimes we get patients when the doctor does come in and they are female.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
I need a different doctor. And they're like, well, why? And when you get to the root of the cause, they need a man. And then you're like, do you think they're smarter than the woman because it's a woman?
No idea.
Like,
no idea.
Don't get me in that room. That stuff makes me so mad. But speaking of, because that's pretty toxic, I would say.
Yeah.
And guys, if you feel like this is negative, we're going to get to some positives by the end of it. But I want to hear what toxicity is in vet med.
Oh, there's so much. Like within vet med,
like as your position, because you're a vet tech, you're pretty. To me, you're a nurse, right?
Well, there's a lot of laws that surround. We can't be called nurses because the whole title protection with human medicine.
Okay.
But I mean, we do everything. Like my title is anesthesiologist. I do anesthesiology. I do anesthesia. So when you go into a hospital, I'm the one that in my current position, I'm the one that's calculating the doses. I'm the one that's calculating the drugs, making up the protocols, getting them approved. I'm the one that's picking the drugs that your dog's going to get to put them to sleep. And I mean to a sleep, like they're going to rest, like
right.
not the dog.
Not euthanasia.
Use the word euthanasia. Yeah. I hate that term, like put them to sleep.
Yeah.
I do. I put dogs to sleep all the time, but I don't euthanize them. But I'm the one that's doing all these things, and you don't realize that as veterinary technicians, we do radiology, we do anesthesia, we do dentistry, we do general practice medicine, we do vaccines, we do it all. Like we're pharmacology, we're venipuncture, phlebotomy, all these. We do it all, and just because it's on a dog doesn't mean we don't know what we're doing or why we do it. But I mean, I think a lot of the toxicity is you get a lot of it from a lot of the people who've been in it for a long time. Like, oh, I've been here 12 years, so I'm entitled, or you're not doing it my way, or you don't do it that way, or you don't do it this way, or a lot of it's just kind of like cliquey too. And I see it a lot because I am a male veterinary technician, and I have to just like stay away from it because like being a male in veterinary medicine, like I can't jump into a conversation that girls are talking about because it's like, yeah, I'm hearing you, and yeah, you may be talking crap about your boyfriend, but you know you're going home to after work, like, like there's like, and it's just, a lot of it. It's just like it's just toxicity. Like they hate their pay, they hate their job, they hate their life, but there's ways to correct that, and there's ways to get around it, and you don't need to have all this toxicity and all this drama and all these things. And I just stay away from it,
Yeah.
like because I can't say anything because oh great, now you're a man who came in here and you're trying to like have a conversation with females that's just the way it is, and so I just stay away. But I see a lot of it like just like either seniority or I've been doing it longer, or you're not licensed, or you're not. It's just like educate. Don't sit there like, yes, I don't know everything, and people who are below than me know more than me. I've worked with people who aren't licensed and they know and work, better than me, and rock stars. Yeah. But I mean, even like just educate.
That's how it is in our world too.
Like, just don't walk in there and say, "Well, we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna do it my way. We're gonna do it this." It's like just educate. Go
and
in
there's
there and
kind
say,
ways to educate people.
There is, and there's sarcastic ways to educate
there
people.
are.
And then it's like, and you just walk away and say "bitch" under your breath. But
that's what I do too. So it's fine. It's fine. That's funny.
Put on a smile and just say, "Yeah, okay, great. We'll do it that way," and just use your high pitched voice because kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
But toxicity leads up to the whole mental health thing too.
Yep.
It's
and
like
burnout,
and ultimately just the worst things. But I think as a culture in veterinary medicine, I think in just medicine altogether, we need to realize nobody knows everything. I don't know everything. I mean, I don't claim to know everything. I mean, I have experience, but just go in there and figure out what people want know and do it.
Yeah.
And
that's the same exact way we call it nurses that eat their young.
Really?
Oh. It's very prevalent. Everyone knows about it.
Like it might be worse in human medicine. Like
I don't know. It's a lot of the same things. Like
well, you get a lot of people too in veterinary medicine. Like they will leave a practice to go somewhere else. You get these people who leapfrog throughout clinics because they're like trying to find their unicorn hospital. Like this is my home. And like for me, like everywhere I've gone, like my first job was 10 years, and my second job, I don't feel like leaving anywhere. It's like I just stick to myself. I do my own thing. I conform to the policies and the protocols and all these things, and I just do it. But like these people, don't bring your life to work. If you're going to talk about your life, do it in a positive way. Because guess what? If you're talking crap about the people you're with or live with and all these things, just because you told your best friend, they also have a best friend.
Yep.
They're going to go tell them. Everyone's going to find out.
Everyone's
and then
going to know
the
your
whole
shit.
hospital knows your shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then it turns into this toxic thing, and it just nobody needs to know these things.
No, I agree with that.
So,
I agree.
But I just stick to myself. I keep to myself, and I jump into conversations that aren't like fully like female dominated.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, like, actually having a male on the unit for us is actually good. And I think
it does.
Strategy.
I've thought about that too. Like, I think it balances things out. Like, I really do. I think like having, like, you have all this estrogen and it's like, hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Like,
and that's not before people come at
I'm not
us.
saying just because I walk around in like tight fig pants. I'm saying like it's just rocking. But like,
No,
it does balance it out.
It's not a sexist thing. It's a fact. A lot of women, it's just what happens. It's a lot of estrogen, and having some testosterone in the mix does balance things out.
Sorry, but if you get a bunch of women in a club together too, and you add a little bit of alcohol, call it nursing. I know.
No, that's literally what it is.
It's like you're just gonna just this trauma. Like you get your shit done, just go to work, dude.
Absolutely.
Like, because I have to go to work and work with you guys for 10 to 12 hours most of the time.
Right.
And like, this is part of my life. Let's make it fun. Let's make it enjoyable.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to come to work and have a fear that, someone's talking about me, or a fear that what I did yesterday is going to be the topic of the day, or the fear that because I did something wrong yesterday is not going to become an educational moment today. Like,
that's my big thing.
Like, it's just like, come in and tell me.
Right.
Like, don't sit there and,
don't gossip.
Don't tell your best friend. Don't do this. I'll be the first person to just tell you, like, just talk to me.
Yeah.
Like if you have a problem with me, like, then it's with me.
Yeah.
Like, then come tell me.
Absolutely.
Don't go and tell XYZ all your problems, because guess what? Now they know the drama that's going on. And guess what? You're making yourself look stupid, because most of the time it's just I did something stupid, and now you're trying to have people against me for whatever reason. I don't know why. But like, just come tell me, and I'll go up to him. I'll go up to him and be like, hey, like, I noticed you did this, and I won't tell him in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to degrade you. Hey, I noticed the lab work you sent the other day didn't have a last name or something on it.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's like, this is how we can correct it, next time, or this is what we can do next time.
Right.
This is how we can prevent it next time. but don't go and gossip about it or do all these things. Yeah.
And also, like, if you're on the receiving end of getting criticism, it's not personal. Like, I am very open to, please tell me what I did wrong, because I could have killed somebody.
No, really, I'm the same exact way. Tell me what I did wrong.
I don't know everything.
Yeah. Like, seriously, if I did something that a fact about and I don't, tell me.
Absolutely.
Or like, if there's a crucial vital or something I didn't know or something going on, or like just tell me. I need to know these things. Don't like wait till I made a mistake and it's like, oh, look at you.
Yeah.
And then I got to go tell everyone.
And make it a thing, because it's typically not a thing. Yeah. And, I get student nurses a lot, and a lot of them make mistakes.
I'm the first person to run when students come. Like, please don't put them with me. Please don't put them. I think I've made videos too where it's like I'm hiding from them.
Well, it's because like once you get a routine, and this is not shame on student nurses. I was a student nurse.
It's not. It's like I'm in a routine, and now you're giving me something else.
Yes.
And I'm all for education. Trust me, I love having students because I can sit there like and educate and observe, and they can be there. But it's like you just screwed up my day.
Yes, it's true. We get in our own routine. Yeah. And for me, like, I might not do something that you're being taught in school because we don't do it the same once you're in the real world.
I'm sorry, but you will learn textbook, but you will not work
textbook.
Like,
yes. So it's probably the same for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can tell you anything from a textbook. Like
I did. They'll ask me, well, I learned this in school. I'm like, first of all, I don't remember any of that. That was traumatic for me. I've blacked it out. I just know what I do here, and so I'll teach them what I do here.
Yeah, this is what I do here, or this is what I know, or these are the drugs I know, or this is what it's like. But don't ask me questions.
But also showing them vulnerability,
or
like
you get those students too who are like, well, we don't do that in school. I don't give a fuck.
I know. I'm like,
well, we don't have that in school. And it's like, well, you don't have a lot of these things in school, first of all, because I'm sure you don't have a CT in school. And this is what we're doing today, and this is how I use it.
Right, exactly.
And it's just like, it's crazy. But like, I just tell them, it's like, if you're here as a student, observe, because it's like, you ask questions.
Yeah.
But you get those ones too. Sometimes it's like question after question after question, or like, just like, but anyways.
Just observe.
Yeah, just observe.
Sometimes it's good to just
watch. Ask questions too at the same time. But, I do. I tell them, it's like, just watch, and then if you see something that you want, like, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's do these.
Yeah.
Like, and don't touch the drapes. Don't touch the tools. Like, those are sterile. Don't.
Yeah. Oh my God. One of my first times as a new grad, I ran into the sterile cart.
Oh goodness.
Everyone in that room hated my guts, and I was like, no, I didn't mean to. I actually cried in the bathroom. I was like, everyone hates me. Yeah. It was an accident, but whatever. Yeah, don't touch the sterile shit.
I think there's a video going around on TikTok or something. It's like a canceled appointment, and then the technician comes in, they just start touching all the tools, and the doctor's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
but it's like, well, they're not coming in anymore.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's the same way too. It's like, don't touch anything.
Yeah.
It's like everything. It is, because everything you guys do in human medicine, we do in veterinary medicine. We have all the same stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Like, we have all the same.
And you
drugs.
guys do more than us.
We do. I feel like I'm not trying to.
No, you just said you do anesthesia. We have to go on to school, more school, is to be a certified.
So I am a licensed veterinary technician, but there is licensed veterinary technician VTS who specialize in anesthesiology.
Yeah.
So they know more.
Okay.
But as a registered veterinary technician, or there's a couple. There's registered veterinary technician. There's credentialed veterinary technician. There's licensed veterinary. All the same thing. Just depends on what state you're in.
That's how nurses are.
But the thing is it doesn't matter. Like, I was educated on how to run anesthesia, and I am educated on the drugs and the proper things. So I can do these things, and I can, it's just, and the doctor doesn't do any of this.
Yeah.
You guys have to understand that if you go to, I'm sure it's the same in veterinary medicine, they just come and say, oh, what hurts, this is this, and then they write down all the charges, they write down all the lists.
Yep.
You guys walk away, throw it on the whiteboard, and you are the ones doing the care, right?
Yep.
Because that's what we do.
Yep.
We are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, and then the doctors get all the praise.
That happens in
and
nursing
I'm sure
too.
veterinary doctors are going to hear this. I'm sorry. You guys do a lot, because I don't know
They do a lot.
You guys do.
But it's just that your role is not.
They have their roles. We have our roles.
Exactly. And your role's not being
That's what I'm trying to say.
praised.
I'm not trying to say that I'm better or
No.
anyone's better. I'm just trying to say we have our roles.
Exactly. You do. And I mean, I feel like that as a nurse, like a lot of times, doctors get their own lounge with like catered food and free parking, and we have to pay for our fucking parking. We don't get free food. We have to pay for like, there's stuff that I'm like, we do a lot too.
You guys have a cafeteria.
We don't. Yeah, I'm like, you guys have free food every day. We are like, hey, can you pay for me? Yeah. Like, please.
I don't know. I bring my lunch every day, so like,
I know.
It's like, I don't know. It's like I do it.
Yeah.
I got a bell pepper and cream cheese today. Is what it is. Hey, if I even get a lunch, like, honestly, like, I mean, what? The other day I worked like 7 hours before getting to lunch.
So it's the same with nursing.
Like, seriously. And then you have to run away and have a quick snack. Like, yeah, I had my 15-minute lunch.
Yeah.
Great. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you in a bad mood? Because I didn't get to fucking eat.
Because I haven't got to eat. I'm hungry. Oh, did you just eat a granola bar in the bathroom while using the bathroom? Hell yeah, I did.
I did. Yeah.
That's all the time I have.
Are you eating Skittles in surgery? No.
No.
Shut up.
Shh. Pay attention to yourself, please. That is funny. Okay, well, if someone wants to get into vet med as a vet tech, what do you suggest to them? Like we were talking about earlier.
Brand new,
like they're like, I'm thinking about becoming.
Well, this goes back to the whole pay transparency thing. Like, I don't think we touch base. Like, what do human veterinary what do human nursings make?
It depends.
Like, it depends on the area because like going from California to Florida, like there was a huge pay in veterinary.
Huge discrepancy.
Yeah. And I mean, it's this huge taboo. I can't talk about what I get paid. I can't talk about this. It's like, who cares?
Who cares? Yeah. If we all talk about it, actually, that's how we make more.
Uniformed, yeah. But like in California, I feel like everything's so expensive. Yes, you get paid more, but everything's so expensive. And then here, like everything's cheaper, but you don't get paid shit.
Yeah.
But like when you think about it, like what is the difference between the two? Like,
yeah. So for nursing, I started in Oklahoma. I started in 2019. I was a new grad making $23.50 an hour.
Okay.
Oklahoma has low cost of living.
And I started in veterinary medicine 2013 making $10 an hour.
Oh my God.
As a registered veterinary technician.
That's just like drives me nuts. My dogs are my babies. And so knowing that you are doing
and I know I get paid more than what an average is than other veterinary technicians, but and I've had experience and I've had years, but it takes a long time to get there.
$10 an hour is not going to pay your shit.
That's where I started. Yeah, that's where I started. But I loved it. I did.
I mean, you have to. You have to love it to be there.
Yes, but that's what it is. But like you were saying, Ohio.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, I'm sorry.
It's okay. No one knows where. Do you know where Oklahoma is? No one knows.
Hold on. Oklahoma. Yes, it's in Western Northern Territory.
What's the closest state to it?
Montana?
No.
Wait, hold on.
It's right above Texas.
Oh, you were okay.
You're thinking Ohio.
I'm thinking Ohio. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're a panhandle.
No one knows. Yes, no one knows where it is, and that's fine.
Well, were you in the panhandle?
No, I was like in the center.
Okay.
Northern center. So. Oklahoma, I made $23.50 an hour. I've since asked new grads there what they're making, and it seems to be about $30 an hour as a new grad. Okay. Sounds good. It is good if you're single. I'll say if you're single.
Okay.
You are still living paycheck to paycheck, I would say.
Yeah. Single with no kids, right?
Single with no kids. Yeah. It's probably great.
Yeah, because
single with
same in vet med too. It's like single, no kids. You're doing great.
Right.
You're married and you're trying to make a living with 3 kids.
It's not good. Yeah. And my problem with this is society wants us to be having kids, but they don't want to pay us to be having kids. Yeah. And I get so fucking annoyed with this because in California, so where I'm at right now, the nurses are making, and I'm in the Bay Area, which is one of the most expensive cities in the U.S.
Yeah, because if I worked in veterinary medicine in the Bay Area, trust me, you go Bay Area to Valley, huge paid.
Yes.
Like, so you cross the Livermore Mountains in California, you are making so much money.
Yes, but you're also paying for it.
Yeah, you are. So you get a lot of people in California in veterinary medicine who will actually drive daily.
Yep.
2 hours. They're basically travel, veterinary technicians who will go and travel to make more money.
Yes, that's what they do
but
there too.
But then they're hard on your car, you're hard on your gas, you're hard on this. It's like, are you making anything?
And your time's taken away.
It's like, yeah.
It's so frustrating. In the Bay Area, nurses are making over $100 an hour.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go to human medicine.
You say that, but this is where the difference is. Yes, they're making like $150,000 a year. Okay. If not more. But housing there. In Oklahoma, my house, it was a 1,500 square foot house. We sold it for $150,000.
Okay.
In that area, 1,700 square feet, $3.2 million.
Seriously. Wow.
So how, and yes, that was a very cute house for 1,500 square feet. But I just don't understand.
Well, that's what I don't understand too, because in veterinary medicine too, it's like use California because that's where I know more statistics about California. You have, someone as a veterinary technician licensed, and they're making $22 an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, but then they usually have a child with them, and then they usually are in a relationship, and then they're paying rent, which is ridiculous. Which is in California when I left, I think it was like $2,300 for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Small, yeah.
And then it's like, how are we supposed to live? On this, and we just do it, living paycheck to paycheck, and that's where we get tied down.
Yes. And that's where I think some of the burnout comes from.
It is. The burnout comes from it. You feel like you have to work to live, and you get burnout. Then you get depression, and then you get just, I think, and then mental health starts kicking in. It's just so much.
And then you hate your job.
Yes.
That's where, I feel like that's where the hate for your job comes in with all these other things.
But then I think that's where it comes from too. I think that's where toxicity develops from too, because if you go to work and you love your job, it's great. If you go to work and you have this hate for just your job, your life, you're going to come to work and you're going to like have this effervescence about yourself. And it's just, you just perceived differently, and you just make work horrible.
Absolutely.
Like, why do you want to go to work and be like miserable?
Yeah. And that's like the reason I'm bringing this up is because it clearly happens in several different fields. You're in vet med, I'm in human med, and you can find toxicity anywhere. So if you're feeling that way,
you can probably find it at the 7-Eleven.
Exactly.
Like, seriously.
Exactly. Teaching, nursing, I mean, in any profession. But if you're not filling your own cup at home, however that may be for you, you know, gym, family time, not picking up extra.
Not for mental health, but just because.
Well, sometimes it helps your mental health.
I'm sure it does.
So like whatever fits what helps fill your cup, you should be doing.
Sure.
Outside of work.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's going to help.
I think we need to find more time to give ourselves more happiness outside of work. Yes.
Yeah.
So what's your hobby? And just live on that more often too. I think so, because I think when we work a lot, we just come home and we're drained. Yeah. Like I feel it too, like working 10, 12 hours sometimes. I come home, I just want to sit. Yeah. I just want to sit and grab a bag of chips, and I'll be the first one to grab a beer and just sit there and just have it quiet.
Yes.
And then it's like, honey, did you have a good day? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Do you want to talk about it? Well, I don't know like what to talk about. Yeah. But my wife's also from veterinary medicine too, so she knows a lot of the stuff. But,
that's kind of nice then.
Yeah, so like she understands veterinary medicine and what entails it and what it is. So, but what she is now retired, so she's home now, and for me, like my situation is a lot different, because I was able to, pay off a house and pay off school loans and, just pay off debt and then move. Mm-hmm. And now it's like we can actually afford to live off just my salary.
That's really cool.
Because it's like, I don't make a lot, but we make enough to live now because we don't have these things.
Financial freedom.
Yeah, and I'm not ringing or tooting in my own train. I'm just saying, like, this is financial freedom.
But you did the hard work to get there.
I do. I think it is. It's like I think if you are strict with yourself with finances, I think if you're strict with yourself with life, you will get to that point where you can just breathe.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm doing that now.
Yeah, so, I think that's awesome.
So,
well, cool. Is there anything else you want to tell people? Anything, if they want to be a vet, if they want, or I'm sorry, I always say vet. Don't be a vet. I always say that, and I don't mean to like jump over and skip.
We get that a lot, though. I think even in practice, too, it's like, oh, so you're a veterinary technician? Do you want to be a veterinarian? No. No, this is what I went to school for. Do you guys get that? Oh, you're a nurse. Do you want to be a doctor? No. Why?
I would never want to be a doctor.
No, I'm sorry.
No shame on doctors.
Oh, you work at the Chick-fil-A. Do you want to be manager?
Exactly. Do you want to do?
I'm sure. No, it's like, this is what I went to school for. My passion is veterinary medicine, and my passion is actually doing the job that I do, because as a veterinarian, I see the stress that they have. I see the stress and the workload that they have, and I feel for them. Like I really do. And just with all the mental health stuff going around and everything, it's like you have to stop sometimes and say, how are you doing? Yeah. Because like for me, I have my tasks and I know it's hard, and like we have to work together as a team to get these things done, because I have orders. I have things I have to do. I have to do my drug logs. I have to do my anesthesia logs. I have to write the doctor's notes. Like people don't realize that I'm the one doing all these things. And
You're doing a lot.
I think it's the same thing in human medicine. Like you don't realize you're the one doing the whiteboards and doing the drug administration, writing the notes, calling the doctors, getting approval for this, doing all this. Like I'm the one doing these things.
You're doing the job of like 7 people. Yeah. And that's what people don't get. But you're not getting paid it.
No.
At all.
At all.
And so it's very frustrating.
No, I mean, and I can speak for probably every veterinary technician. It's like we do so much and we do not get the pay that we deserve. No. We really don't.
No, you don't.
And I think the thing that's going to change that, in my opinion, would be if there's a broad spectrum like this. Everyone's unified in getting credentialed. Mm-hmm. Because like if we get credentialed, they see our value. Because in certain states like Florida, like you don't have to be credentialed to do the task of a veterinary technician. So if you don't have to have credentials, you're not going to pay you to get that. Like, and then like you're not going to ever get what you want. You're not going to have. So if I'm ever going to tell anyone who wants to get into veterinary medicine, it's like honestly think about like where you are in life. Is this what you want? It's not just puppies and kittens.
No.
It really isn't. I don't go to work. Sometimes I do get to play with puppies and kittens, and I'll take it into the room and I'll sit on the chair and I'll just like I'll sit there and just play with
let your serotonin free.
Like, and just like, you know, but we don't have that. Like, the second I walk in the door is stress. I have things I have to do because I have that 8 o'clock appointment that's coming in that I have to write a drug protocol for because it has to be on the table like by 8:45.
Yeah.
And it has to be under anesthesia. And guess who's monitoring that 4-hour anesthesia? It's me.
Yeah.
And who's, you know,
who didn't get to have a lunch or go pee.
Yeah, or do anything and can't walk away.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, seriously. And then, you know, but those are the things that we have. If you're going and you want to have this passion, first of all, you have to have the passion for animals. So yes, if you have that, that's a great start. But you have to know going into veterinary medicine that you're not going to get paid this super amount of money starting out. And you're not going to have you know, they call them baby techs. We're baby techs when you first start out. Like, you just have to understand that when you start out, just understand, like, have that fulfillment and know that you have to grow.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get this great base pay. You're not going to get all the satisfaction you thought that you're going to have starting out. And it's probably the same in human medicine. You kicked your ass in school, and now you have to kick your ass in life.
Yeah.
And you have to get there.
Yeah.
So, and if you want to get to that point, you just keep doing it and
It's
gain your experience and get the work in it.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that. It's also like what you said, you get to go home and you have a support system. That's huge.
I do. And which a lot of people don't have, because in vet med, I know a lot of people who don't have support systems. They have a stressful day. They have to go home. They have to pick their child up from daycare. Yeah. They have to go home and they have them. Yeah. That's it.
They essentially they're isolated.
Yeah. They put their kid to sleep. They take them to school in the morning and it's back to it. And they have no one to talk to. So I think a lot of it is, if you're going to make friends at work, make friends. Don't make enemies. Don't make friends that you're not gossiping with. And have passionate, like, conversations sometimes too. Deep conversations too. Like, vent. Is there something wrong? Like, I'll usually ask people, I'm the playful one. Like, what's up? Like, what's going on? How's your day? Like, just keep it motivated.
Yeah. Like, and that's cool that you can be that person for some people, because you've kind of, it seems like you've come out on the other side. That's how I feel.
I go to work and play every day.
Yeah. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I'm not sad. I'm not upset about work. I love my job now because of what I've done to get there.
And I feel so comfortable in my job that I can go to work and play. I can go to work and joke.
Yep.
But I'm also busting my ass while I'm doing these things.
Absolutely.
So, but like, I'll be the first person to joke. Or,
that's me too.
Yeah, I'll put a piece of shit in a bag and throw it at someone. Like, this is what we do. This is vet med. Like,
that's so funny.
Like, but yeah, I mean, you don't realize, like, I'm sure, like, I'm the person there. Like, I would never touch anything that came out of a dog outside of work. But like, sometimes at work, you just have to open your palms and let the dog vomit in your hand, and then take it to the towel. Or like, sometimes you just have to sit there while the dog's shitting in anesthesia, and you're just like, just get it out, buddy. Like, we do so many gross things. And then a lot of the comments on my videos too, people are like, well, there's such thing as gloves, and I'm like, okay.
In what amount of time though?
And there's such thing as soap.
Yeah, washing your hands.
Like, when I do these popping cyst videos and doing all these things, and like, I can't, like, it's just such an enjoyment. Like you're not wearing gloves. It's like, well, who cares? Don't watch.
Yeah, don't watch. Bye. Scroll.
Just wash my hands afterwards.
Exactly.
Like, it's like whatever. But like, it's just the moment, and it's just what it is. But I would never touch anything in human medicine. Like,
well, I was gonna say, you
guys have a lot more different things in human. You have actual diseases that can be,
given
transferred
to us.
But there's not many zoonotic diseases, like diseases that can be
transferred.
That's a
good word.
Yeah, from diseases that can be transferred from an animal to a human.
Okay.
And there's not, and so there's not much to worry about.
I didn't think about that, because I was gonna say.
But like, if you stick your hand with a needle, your protocols are going to be different than if I stick my hand with a needle.
True. Okay.
So think of it that way.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm just going to go over there and rub it with soap. I mean, if you get bit by a cat with a dirty ass mouth, you better sit there and scrub for a long time.
Worms or what?
No, it's going to get infected.
Yeah.
Like,
Ew.
Seriously, like, usually with any cat bite, you're just going to go to the hospital. Like,
okay.
Honestly, like, if you get bit by a
Interesting.
cat. Yeah. Well, it is, because what it is they're like, if you've ever seen a cat bite abscess, like, cats fight.
Yeah.
Cats bite each other. Boom. Now you have bacteria under the skin. That skin heals. Now you have festering bacteria. Now you have a cat bite abscess. And it's the same thing in humans. You get bit by a cat, boom, you better clean it and just start some antibiotics.
Actually, that's the same way if we get bit by humans, because we get bit by people.
I mean, but if you get bit by a human, you just like kind of give them the elbow a little bit. Oh, I slipped.
I mean, you want to, but you want to.
We get bit by our patients. I've never been bitten by a dog.
Really?
No, I haven't.
Well, you guys have muzzles too.
Yeah,
we need human muzzles.
But like, no, well, yo.
That would be nice.
But just to shut them up, or did I?
People try to bite.
They really do. Oh my goodness. Like, no, but I mean, like, I've been bitten by cats,
Yeah.
and I've been scratched by cats. I mean, I have scars to show
my
cat
God.
scratches. Like, but like
Cats
the thing
are
is,
wild.
like, now that I say I've never been bit by a dog, watch, I'm gonna get bit by a dog.
Yeah,
it's
jinx.
fucking bullshit. But like, yeah, I mean, that sucked. Like, I don't know what we were talking about, but we started talking about dog bites.
I know.
It's like,
Well, the last thing I wanted to bring up, and I know that we've kind of thrown mental health in here, like,
yeah,
you know, boom, boom, boom.
it's a real thing.
It's a real thing, and I looked
And
at the
it's
statistic.
obviously finding out now after this that it is a real thing in human.
It is.
So-
It's very high in humans or human medicine as well, because you just feel like you're never doing enough. At least from what I understand, it feels like you're not truly helping the patient because
Do you
of all
guys
the
feel that
boundaries.
though when you go home, like after you've working a patient all day and you're like, you go home and you just fester on what you could have done better, or you fester on like, you just think about their health. You think
used
about them. Okay. For a long time, that's how I started too.
Yeah.
Like I would go home and I would just think like,
Yeah.
you know, they came into emergency and you referred them back to their general hospital and you're like, you never see it again. Did they make it? Did they make it? Yeah. And then these days it's like people say you have no empathy, but guess what? Like I have to euthanize a dog in one room and then I have to put on a face for the next room.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people don't realize that. It's like, just because I don't show my feelings, the feelings are there, but I can't constantly be like upset. No. Yes, they're dogs and cats. I feel for them. And I don't feel for them like you feel for your baby kind of thing. I understand that the dog's in pain. I understand that your pet's in discomfort, but I have to be very monotone. I have to be very calm. I have to be very like, I have to treat the pet. I can't be on your level of hysteria.
No.
And I can't take that home with me too. So I have to just kind of.
Because you have a family at home that's waiting for you, and you have your own pets at home.
Yeah. So a lot of people, and you get that you only care about money. No, I don't care about money. I don't, like honestly.
That's frustrating.
You want to see my paycheck because I don't care about money. And,
Literally.
and the only reason we have to charge you is because the door has to stay open, the lights have to stay on. Like you don't understand how much it costs to purchase the medications, to purchase these things, to do all these things, whatever.
Right.
That's what it is.
No, I feel you on that. It happens with people too.
But I've always thought that. It's like, do you guys take that home with you? Like,
oh yeah. As a new, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still situations now that will happen with me, but it was really big when I was a new grad.
I couldn't work with kids like in human medicine. Like I couldn't work with kids like because
kids.
it's just like. Even with my own boys, like I'm just like so emotional, like oh my gosh, like they're hurt or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Like if I had to work in like what do you call the kids unit? I don't know.
Pediatrics.
Like, pediatric. Like I couldn't do it. Like I would just be crying all the time.
They're innocent, you know,
because they don't know why they're hurting. They know what's going on.
It's the same with old people.
But put me in ER human like medicine, maybe I can do it because I'll just tell you, sit down.
You could.
Yeah.
I was gonna say actually at the beginning of this, I was gonna say vet techs remind me of ER nurses.
Yeah.
You have to be. You have to have a wedge between like what you're talking about, the emotion and your job.
Yeah.
And it's not
You
jaded.
really do.
People love to be like, well, nurses are jaded. We're not jaded. We have to be that way.
We have to find a place in our head to do these things because I can't just go out there and, just,
right.
Like they're doing. Like I can't do the high pitched baby noise. I can't do this. I can't sit there and, I have to actually be in a persona to a state to treat and help your pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just bagged a body next door. I have to do something different now,
Like,
and then people get upset with our sense of humor. Well, dark humor, and that's the only way I can.
Oh, dark humor's the best way.
It's my only
it's
form
unfortunate.
Of humor.
Yeah, it really is. That is my humor because, dark humor, you have to have it.
It's a coping mechanism. It's
real.
Really my therapist says it's fine.
No.
So I'm going with it.
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine. I'm like, that's the only way I
mean,
can
if you
cope.
look at any medical TikToks or any veterinary TikTok, even mine, like that's my coping.
Exactly.
That's my dark humor.
Exactly.
I'm making fun of a situation
that's why
I believe is funny because it makes me feel better.
Exactly.
It does. And I'm sorry that someone didn't like it. It's just whatever.
It's stupid. Trigger warning, you guys. This episode contains talk of suicide. Please take care while listening. The last thing I was going to say about mental health is I have a statistic.
Okay.
It was a 2022 statistic. So 1 in 6 vets have considered suicide. Male veterinarians are 1.6 more likely to die by suicide than female vets. 1.6 more likely to die by suicide. And female veterinarians are 2.4% more likely to die by suicide. And 80% of vets are females.
Yep. It's true statistics. I mean, I've had 2 veterinarians, one very close and one I knew and worked with, who have committed suicide. And it is a real thing. And I mean, it's just, there's a lot of, it's not fake statistics.
No,
it's real.
It's real.
But I mean, there's so much that can go on. And I really wish people would open up more about talking. If someone asks you how your day is and you just tell them, like, honestly, like, and I think a lot of it is they don't have the support, whether it's at home or not, because a lot of the people I know who have mental health
issues,
they don't have a support group.
Yeah.
And they're going home alone.
Yeah.
Or they're getting bullied, or they're getting things like this, and it's really just horrible.
That's why I love your page so much. I see that you talk about mental health on there every now and then, and isolation is one of the top reasons of suicide. And so, like you're saying, if people can talk more, if we can open up more, have a space for people to talk about these things, and they're hard topics. I don't care if you cry. I cry. I'll cry with you. I'm a big crier. So like people are so, yeah, that's okay. You don't got to cry.
I never
but
have.
I think people get embarrassed. Like, I'm sorry, I'm crying. I'm like, it's okay. Let it out.
It's a response to emotion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let it out and talk to somebody. Find somebody to talk to. I also believe in like suicide hotlines, and it's funny to me whenever I say like, call the National Suicide Hotline. I have people that are like, I did, and they hung up on me. Really? I did, and I was on hold for 4 hours. I'm like, okay, that's embarrassing.
That sucks.
But talk to somebody is the point.
But it's very true statistics in veterinary medicine, and like I said, the Not One More Vet organization, we're trying to make these facts more real, like known.
Yeah.
So that people understand. Like, a lot of it is burnout. Like, people are coming in off the streets, and they think that we are supposed to just treat their pet, and with no cost. Unfortunately, there is a cost, and it's very horrible to say that. And it sucks so much that we have to say that we have to charge to facilitate medicine.
That's life,
Yeah,
though.
it's the same with human medicine.
Anything.
It's just they don't see it.
No.
You can go to the dentist or whatever. You don't see a bill. You don't. You have insurance.
Right.
But I think a lot of it is we get this from clients, and we harbor that, we build it up, and I think we just people need to understand that we also have stress.
Yeah.
And we need to, you guys calm down a little bit.
Yeah. Be nice. Quit being assholes.
I don't know.
General public, quit being mean.
I usually just drown it out.
Yeah, I know. I do too. I say a lot of things in my head.
No, I do. I honestly do. And then I'm like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it was super easy when we had to wear masks.
I know. Oh my God, same for us.
It was so easy.
Well, end us out on like a light note. What's something funny that's happened, or something that you like, or just end us out on something lighter?
Well, I don't know. I mean, let's talk about, like, right now I'm doing specialty veterinary medicine. So, like, if you think about it, you have, shelter medicine, you have general practice, ER, then you have your specialties.
Yeah.
So I work in dental specialty. And by the time we see people in dental specialty, it's like, it's the worst of the worst. Like, this is what we're dealing with. And,
I saw that tooth loose.
Sometimes it's full tooth extraction, full mouth extraction. It's just all kinds of stuff. It's fun stuff. I enjoy it. But, like for me, I just enjoy it so much. Like I've been doing it so long, and for me, like, veterinary medicine is just a passion to me.
Yeah.
I see it, I talk about it as a passion, and some people might say I'm conceited or, whatever. It's so passionate to me I love it. That's why I do it. And just what I enjoy. But, like, for me, it's working. And then the second I clock out, it's driving home, and it's family.
Yeah.
So for me, I think my passion, my enjoyment is going home and just family.
It's a boundary.
It is. It's my boundary. Like, I go home and I forget work.
Yeah.
Like, I really do. And, like, I don't answer emails. I don't do, text. Like, if, my boss texts me, it's like, can you clock me in?
Yeah.
No.
Right. Exactly. I know.
No, but it's like, I really don't. Like, it's just like, I honestly just cut it off. Like, I'm at home. It's wife, kids, pets. Like, I garden. That's my thing.
Oh, I love
like,
that.
honestly, like, my zucchinis are going to sprout here in like another 3 weeks. I'm sorry. It's passionate about gardening.
Don't be sorry.
But, like, that's what I do. And, like, it's just, if it's not gardening, I'm out in the truck.
Yeah.
Like, I'm, like, doing something on work. I have my shop. I do things. Or I'm just doing something with the kids where it's like taking that, like, I live on a huge, like, country road. Like, I'm country boy. Like, I'm a good old boy now. But, like, we'll go on the ATVs just down the dirt road, and we'll just go. And just the enjoyment of seeing my son's face is like, faster, just like, that's my joy.
Yeah.
And then I go back to work, knowing that now I work to benefit my family.
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
I love that.
My joy. I don't take work home, very rarely. And my posts are, of course, obviously to vent.
Yes.
And that's what I do. I vent. And I really think that TikTok and Instagram and Reels and all these things really are a venting platform, because you see these people, and, like, I follow a lot of human
Nurses.
So like your page too, like it's just a way to make, because it's the same stuff.
It is.
It's the same exact crap. And it's like, it's just good to relate to.
Yeah.
So like just
find someone to relate with.
Really?
Yeah.
Really, whether it's on social media or in real life. Like,
yeah.
I think you need someone to relate with and someone to be on your side. I
agree.
Honestly.
Well, where can people find you?
So I'm not on YouTube. I am, but I don't post there.
He is, but he's not.
Yeah, no, I'm not. My handle, if you were to find me, is @VetTexPJ. Actually, just type in my name, Peter Carlos.
Yeah, it'll come up.
It's Google. Like you can find me. And I'm on there, and you can find me. And it's random. Like some of my videos are jokes, some of my videos are disgusting, but a lot of it's educational.
Yeah.
And you get all those people who are like, well, that's not how I do it. Well, that's the way you're supposed to do
it.
It's like, and it's just what it is it's just a place to come and enjoy yourself and have fun, and it's just what I do.
I love that.
I haven't been posting more recently because again, like going home, I have to have a family.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to do my family life, and I have to do these things, and I find myself actually doing a lot of my reels, and because I think I'll go on there and I'll look at reels and I'll find trending songs.
Yeah.
I'll do all these things. I'll do that usually like the hour before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Because like I've been doing like, okay, it's time to brush teeth for the kids. It's time to put kids to bed. It's time to feed the dogs. It's time, all these things. It's like, now I have me time.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'll save that reel. I can like put that towards something. Like,
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I really enjoy it. But a lot of my stuff is real to the field.
Yeah.
I enjoy posting raw and real. Mm-hmm. There's no filters. There's no flags. It's just, this is what it is. You will see blood. You will see all these things. You will see shit. It's there.
No, literally shit.
And you will get an explanation about what it is and the realistic to it.
Yeah.
It's real.
It's really cool.
That's what I enjoy. And I see a lot of pages in veterinary medicine. You have your funny pages, you have your educational pages, you have all these. I think I'm kind of like in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it all started way back in 2020 when it all started.
Yeah.
And I think, it's just evolved. I think I'm honestly the #1 most followed veterinary technician.
You have like 2-point-something million followers on TikTok alone.
Yeah. So, I mean, to think about it. And I did win last year. What was it? The Innovator of the Year.
Really?
Veterinary Technician of the Year.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that was pretty cool.
Okay.
So, but no,
well,
toot my own horn.
I'm going to have apps do it. Not every time do that. I'm going to put his links to his social medias in the description. Okay. And I just want to thank you so much for doing this.
No, I had a lot of fun. Like when you messaged me and said, hey, do you want to talk? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, so, and I was telling you earlier too, I was like, I showed my wife, I was like, she wants me to be on her podcast. And she's like, really? Like, she was just like, because my wife follows you.
That's so
she's like, she watches your videos and she's like, did you see this? Did you see this? And this is not like, so I was like, yeah, this is real. But it's really cool. So she's like, tell me how it all happened. Tell me everything. I was like, so I'm going to go home and just tell her. It's like,
cool.
So I got to meet someone on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like,
I got to meet you too. Like,
I'm fangirling right now.
No. I was so excited that you even said yes. It was like, what was this shot in the dark? It was like, you guys don't know, but it was like over the last 3 days, we were like,
back and
trying
forth
to figure
messaging.
this out.
Yeah. So I'm like, I know I'd be at work and I'm like, I'm at work right now.
I know.
I was like, and then you would rate me, I'm at work. And I was like, so I was like, and then I would be like, text you on my lunch. I was like, okay, here. And then I'd wait until we were just playing back and forth with each other, those messages. It was funny.
Well, thank you so much.
No, I had a blast. I really had a lot of fun. And I hope I don't come off like, oh, he's a snooty tooty vet.
No, you're not. No. Also, F the haters. I gotta watch my mouth sometimes, but F the haters. Thank you guys so much. Yeah. Tune in to his channel. I'll have all the description in the podcast I'll have your tags in the description in the podcast. Yeah. And that's all.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Bye, guys.